What is going on, guys? It is your boy Bio2k, and today, man, I'm going to be bringing you guys a super important video that I'm going to be bringing you guys to really help you guys out with not losing out on MT, but more importantly, taking advantage of a big market move that is going to be coming. Now, obviously, this is the final week of season number 1, and in the final week, we obviously did see these lovely things called super packs. Now, if you guys are a no money spam player or like a budget player, whatever the case is, super packs are actually a lot better than you think they are, because a lot of people go, oh, hey, I'm a no money spam player, super packs dropped, this sucks, I can't open them, blah, 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 blah. That's okay. And I'm going to tell you why it's okay. Like, literally, when people, spend tons of money on this game, super packs are their best friend. I can't even tell you the amount of people that I've already seen have over 1 million MT still open like 2 450s of just super packs alone. And again, there's nothing wrong with it. Everybody's going to do their own thing. They want to make MT. Great. But the thing is a lot of the time, cards are going to drop in price because a lot of people are going to be opening packs like crazy. Now, you may not see a big drop in guys like AD, Kareem, Vince. These guys, they're in packs, but like, let's be honest. You know what I mean? I don't even got to say it. You know what I'm saying, so it's all good. But a lot of people are going to be potentially pulling guys like Isaiah Thomas, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal. You're going to have people pulling, where is he? Dikembe Mutombo. You're going to have people pulling LeBron. Like, you're going to be getting a lot of these diamond pulls and even these AMI pulls, right? So guys like Kawhi Leonard, Josh Smith, these are really good budget cards that people still use. And when I say budget cards, like, it is very rare that you have good cards that are actually relatively cheap that people, that are like a lot of like the comp scene or the 250k scene. Well, I guess that's technically the same thing, but it's really rare that you see like a lot of budget cards being used to buy these guys because they are really just that good. Like, I'm being serious when I say that. Again, Donovan Mitchell is really solid. You guys already know how I feel about Cat, Kawhi Leonard, Josh Smith. Again, these guys are really good. And what you guys are going to see when super packs like this drop is that their prices are actually going to start dropping. For instance, literally the other day, I actually pulled this Kawhi in packs and he was still selling for around 40k. Now, unfortunately, I didn't sell him, but at the same time, like, I'm okay with that. I actually like Kawhi. But you guys can see right now that when super packs drop, this is really what ends up happening to the market. You guys have these budget guys that do drop a really good amount in price. Just to show you guys that this one was not a snipe, this is what I mean. The prices of these guys are going to drop heavily. This is really the time where you guys want to take advantage of a lot of these really solid budget cards. I don't care what drops Friday. Guys like Kawhi Leonard and Josh Smith are still going to be usable for a little bit of time. And when I say a little bit of time, I don't mean, oh, they're going to be usable for like a week. They're going to still be relatively solid for probably the entire next season. So these budget guys, this is the time that you guys want to go ahead and pick them up because, again, a lot of these guys are going to jump back up in price. Now, I know people are going to say like, oh, Bio, well, super packs are still going to be here, until, like, there's the super packs for some reason are still going to be out until like midway through the season. I completely get that. But nobody opens up super packs anymore outside of like the first like day. I promise you. I 100% promise you. Maybe somebody will do it the next 2-3 days, but after that, nobody does it. They just sit there, which means nobody's opening them. So you guys can see again, Josh Smith has dropped to as low as 1685, right? Or 850. Trust me, these guys are going to jump back up in price. It may not be right away. I don't even know why I said 850. There's literally one for 750 right next to it. It's all good. I'm a little slow. But like, my whole point is that these guys are going to jump back up. I promise you they are going to. Or at least they have in every other year of 2K. So unless this is the 1 year where they don't, I guess you guys can get mad at me. But I'm even going to scoop up this Josh Smith because I actually want Josh Smith to kind of be able to, use in different situations. And I think he is going to be a really solid addition to this team. I know people are going to say, oh, he can replace Draymond. No. Surprisingly enough, he is actually going to go ahead and replace Rudy Gobert. I know that sounds crazy, but he is going to. He is going to replace Rudy Gobert. We'll slide Draymond down there, and we're good to go here. But the whole point is that when super packs drop, it is the same deal as the next season dropping, right? When the next season comes out, there's a ton of new rewards cards and there's a ton of new, things to actually, acquire in the game. Basically meaning, a new promo is going to be dropping. So also when that promo drops, there's obviously going to be some type of heat that drops right away because let's be honest, like, it's a new season. They're probably coming with a whole new wave of like, glitched cards and all that sort of stuff. I actually made a season prediction video earlier on today, so be sure to go check that out. But I will spoil just one of those right now. One of the predictions that I did make is that we are going to potentially be seeing a Magic Johnson or a Penny Hardaway type player on Friday. I do think they are going to drop a relatively tall point guard. And when they do that, I'm telling you guys right now, guys like Isaiah Thomas is going to start dropping in price a little bit. You know, you're going to have, who else? Who are some other good point guards we could talk about here? Solid. Just no point guards. Got it. I mean, Derrick Rose. I mean, I know he's already a buy now, but he'll start dropping in price. You're going to have AI. I mean, AI is already a buy now. And everybody loves this AI. But again, the thing is with him is his defense. So you guys are going to see this AI drop even more in price, if I'm being honest. But I do think people are still going to want this card. I would maybe hold off on buying AI if I'm being completely honest. He could have a jump in price, but I mean, that's kind of hit or miss because, again, his defense is really not the best. He obviously is way too small, and he's going to get bodied if he gets posted up. But there are ways around it. Obviously, you can adjust doing different matchups and stuff like that. So I wouldn't really worry about that. But again, you know, a lot of these point guards, you guys are going to have to just make sure that you guys do pay attention to. Now, one thing I'm going to straight up say too is this LeBron right here, right? If you guys didn't see my No Money Spent episode, I think it was in yesterday's one. I don't know. It was either in yesterday's one or it's going to be in one you guys haven't seen yet, but I did actually end up sniping this LeBron. Don't worry. The footage is in the video. Also, I did it live on stream, but I did end up sniping this LeBron. Now, this is again a prime example of what I'm going to be telling you guys. LeBron is not going anywhere. This is a diamond LeBron. Yes, it is not the signature one, but it is still a diamond LeBron. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I do plan on juicing him up a little bit, you know, upgrading a lot of these badges, and then I'm going to go ahead and put him back on the market. The reason why is because I already know that because the super packs came out, prices drop, right? I actually got him for a buy now, but my whole thing is I know for a fact I'm still going to be able to sell him for a bid, especially when I upgrade all of these badges. So I'm telling you guys right now, you guys have to be smart and invest in a lot of these different guys before the seasons actually do change. Now, you do have to be careful, though, again, on who you invest in, right? A guy like Dwayne Wade is really good. And I think a lot of people can, you know, use Wade. I think he is pretty cool. But you guys can see, even the signature Wade is, like, actually relatively cheap. So he is actually going to turn into a budget baller, I feel like, when it comes to this next season, depending on who does come out. Again, Wade is really cool, but, like, there's way too many shooting guards in the game. Like, for instance, like, with Wade, right? Who am I going to run him over? He's a 2-3. He's not running over Dale. He's not going over LeBron. He's not going over ML Carr, and he's not going over Kawhi, right? So it's like, and he's not even playing over Harden. If I'm being completely honest, I'm still using Harden over Dwayne Wade, right? So again, it's situations like that where I'm telling you guys, you just have to make sure that you do have, you know, you do actually pay attention to kind of who really is being used. And I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of these comp guys that do play the game do have a big effect over the market because when they tell a lot of their big audience, they say, hey, use these cards. A lot of people are going to use these cards. It's the same thing where if I'm being completely honest, I know a lot of people talk about this with YouTubers having big pull in the market. I'm not even joking. Jameer Nelson is a prime example of that. My man DBG literally day one was talking about how good Jameer Nelson was. You guys can see his price now. It is literally nothing. It is like under 3K, right? And when I say day one, I mean week one. The entirety of week one, I was consistently selling Jameer Nelsons that I kept pulling out of free packs for like 12K MT. Trust me, like, it's just one of those things where, like, you just kind of have to follow the wave of what people are doing and what cards people use, and you will be able to flip and make some MT. That's why if I'm telling you guys right now, if I'm being completely honest, the two cards that I'm heavily telling you guys to make sure you guys pick up, actually, I'm going to give you guys even more because they're budget cards that are still going to be usable. Kawhi Leonard, definitely, I'm going to say is number one on my list. Duncan Robinson and Darius Miles are two other cards that I think you guys should look to pick up on. I'm not even joking. Dennis Rodman is another solid one. Now, again, you might not see a big jump in a lot of these, but they're still definitely worth paying attention to. Josh Smith is definitely one. Gary Harris could potentially even be one that I think, you know, people could end up flipping and making, you know, some good MT on. So I would definitely pay attention to a lot of these guys. The final two are these two right here. You have Damian Lillard and you have LaMelo Ball. These two are really good. I mean, they may have dropped in price because of these super packs. But I will say this right now, like, you know, having these guys for future limited runs is definitely not bad at all. Even a guy like Pascal Siakam, these three guys are really good for limited. I highly recommend picking them up. Don't pick up Ginobili. Ginobili's just god-awful. But yeah. Make sure you guys do pay attention though, because the market is about to take a massive crash. I don't even want to say a crash. That's why I said a big market move before, because when you say crash, everybody expects cards to just tank in price, and I don't think you're going to see that, but I think it is kind of low right now. So being able to take advantage of this in a couple days, maybe even a week or two, I'm promising you guys it will pay off. So actually, before I do my little intro and say goodbye to you guys, last thing I'm going to talk about, badges are really cheap right now. I'm not even joking. The only badge that has value is this right here. It's quick first step. You guys can see this badge is, well, I don't want to say the only badge that has value. Quick first step does actually, you know, have some pretty good value here. But what I'm going to tell you guys is definitely invest into some of these really good badges like quick first step, blinders, green machine, set shooter, interceptor, limitless takeoff, mismatch expert. A lot of these badges are going to be really solid. Like, look, these are all going for 500 MT. I'm probably going to invest in some of these because I'm telling you guys right now, when a point guard comes out that doesn't have it or but can get it, you know what I mean? I'm telling you guys, these badges are going to jump in price as well. So hopefully this video did help you guys out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, peace.